Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I'm, of course, Alexander, yesteryear. We will be joined by the Golden Moon here shortly. Today is, of course, what is today? Moon's Day, aka Monday, August 10th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a heck of a show lined up for you. Look at all these tabs that we're going to be going through. And it is a 45-page document, so let's try to see if we can get this done in an hour. Well, I'm not sure if we will, but yeah. Start us off in 612 BC. Fall of Nineveh to the Babylonians and the forces of Medes led to the sack of one of the greatest cities in the world, the destruction of the Neo-Assyrian Empire, and the death of King Sin-Shar-Ishkun. This date is approximate, however, so it might not have been today, it might have been yesterday, it might be tomorrow. This is 2,628 years ago. So, you know, the fact that we even know that it exists is nothing short of breathtaking. Yeah. So, and here's an artist rendition of this. Actually, hold on a second. Where is it? Let me copy this here. Yeah, you can see fire in the distance and everybody fleeing the massive city here. Then let's just actually image search this article. Here's the image I just showed you right there on that. And then we have some like AI slop, of course. You know, it's going to be everywhere. But what appears another artist rendition. Is this an actual painting? Yeah, this looks like an actual painting. The Fall of Nineveh. Although I'm not sure. I can't tell anymore these days what's real and what's not. You know, AI generated or actual. You know, because this looks real. You know. Well, anyway, moving on up to the year 70. Thank you. The Second Temple in Jerusalem was set on fire by the Roman army under Titus during the capture of the city. This too is approximate. So two major things. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good.
Nice. Yeah, we were just talking about the fall of Nineveh and the sack of one of the greatest cities in the world. You know, the Babylonians destroying the Neo-Assyrian Empire, and the death of this king. You know, who I'm not going to try to pronounce his name again. And we have the Second Temple in Jerusalem being set on fire. Like that's, you know, two massive things. Just separated by this one article from the other source there that I didn't cover. But yeah, I'm gonna move on up to looking at this on image search, and this obviously is AI generated right there. Like that was so AI generated. Why do they look like almost like fascist?
Fascist.
It's the Star of David on a red background. The swastika. It was a black symbol on a white circle on a red flag. So you have here the Star of David that's made of white, and then a red background. It almost kind of looks. This image is so weird. Why is there a tank here? See that? There's a tank. What the hell is happening? So that is obviously AI generated. This looks pretty good, but I'm not sure. It could be AI generated. I don't know. I can't tell. It's getting really good. This is absolutely. I don't know. Is that an actual art piece or is that AI generated? This is here. So I don't think they had carts like these back then, especially traveling on top of the soldiers. And that's a truck. That's a full-on truck right there.
Yeah, so, that's weird.
Yeah. Moving on up to 610. This is the traditional date of Laylat al-Qadr, or Night of Power, when Muslims believe the Quran was first sent down from heaven to the world and revealed to the Islamic prophet Muhammad. So this is the traditional start date. So we have we're already 3 approximations in. Now, I just want to say, if they believe this is, that this came down from heaven, well, Satan and his followers came down from heaven, so did the plagues, the flood, whatever happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, and then that lady, becoming a pillar of salt, that's all heaven coming down here. Even the one supposed, miracle, Armageddon, that's what all the Christians and everything are waiting for. The end of the world and everything, it's bittersweet at best because that's the end of everything. But then we all, if you're not going to hell, you go to heaven and everything. So heaven's coming back down and taking us back. So that's the one good thing coming from heaven. So I wouldn't I don't know. Like knowing that, I wouldn't consider something coming down from heaven that's not Armageddon to be anything good. You know, I mean, it doesn't have a good track record. Get what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. So, but yeah, right here, like we have this night of Lal Atol Al Qadir. Okay. 843, we have the Treaty of Verdun. Brothers Lotharius I, Louis the German, and Charles the Bald divided France. All right, and there it is right there. The Treaty of Verdun, 843. This is an 843. This is how they divided France. And look at that. They had, there's a Papal state. This was before the reunification of Italy. Like, after the fall of Rome. And, like, this is before Giuseppe Garibaldi, or whatever his name was. I think that was his name. Moving on to 955. The Battle of Lichfield, Otto I, king of the Germans, defeated the Hungarians, ending 50 years of Magyar invasion of Western Europe. All right. 991, Battle of Maldon, English led by Earl Bayerhanoth, confronted a band of inland invading Vikings near Maldon in Essex. The battle and the English defeat were immortalized in the well-known English poem, The Battle of Maldon. Let's take a look at this Battle of Maldon poem. Let's look this up here really quick. So here we go, Battle of Maldon. Well, it's just going to tell us about the actual battle. Battle of Maldon poem. Let's see here. See if I can find this. Here we go. There it is. Okay. All right. So it's a name given to an old English poem of uncertain date celebrating the real Battle of Maldon from 991, at which an Anglo-Saxon army failed to repulse a Viking raid. Only 325 lines of the poem are extant. Both the beginning and ending are lost. Oh, what a shame. Oh, let me throw this in here. See here, Battle of Maldon poem in parentheses, just so that way people understand. And this link and all other links that we got throughout the show will appear in the underbar in the description below after the live stream. As per usual, we already have a lot of cool things down there, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Links to our various sources for the history stuff, the music in the background, and a handful of other cool things. We're gonna move on up here, but this was a cool, article there. 1030. No, it's 507. The Battle of Azaz ended with a humiliating retreat of the Byzantine Emperor Romanos II Argyros against the Murdesid rulers of Aleppo. The retreat degenerated into a rout in which Romanos himself barely escaped capture. So very close to getting captured there. 1258, Manfred, illegitimate son of Frederick II, was crowned king of Sicily. Wow. Kind of a unintentional rags to riches set up by your own,
someone illegitimate snuck in there and became king.
Well, I'm not sure if he snuck in there, or what. Like, I get what you're saying, but yeah, like that's wild, Like, that's kind of like a Hollywood story right there. 1270, Yakuna Amlek took the imperial throne of Ethiopia, restoring the Solomonic dynasty to power after a 100-year Zagwe interregnum. 1346, Majorcan explorer Jamin Ferrer set sail to find the legendary River of Gold along the West African coast and disappeared without a trace.
Aha.
So, known also as the Senegal River, the River of Gold. I guess it was found eventually, or...
The gold?
Well, no, the River of Gold is the name.
I know.
But maybe not the gold itself. Like,
right.
it's supposed to be a River of Gold.
Right.
Which, if it's a river of gold, then that means it's liquid metal, and it's probably not safe to be on a boat, in there. So, but then again, gold is like one of the weaker metals. What's its liquefaction? Like, it wouldn't be that high.
I don't know.
Because mercury is like almost always liquid.
Yeah, I don't know how you could solidify mercury. What it would take.
Very cold. 1461, Alfonso Ed Espina, Bishop of Osma, urged for an inquisition in Spain.
Expect a kind of Spanish Inquisition?
I had to play that for the meme.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Sorry, I had to play that for the meme and everything. 1500, Portuguese sea captain Diego Diaz was the first European to sight Madagascar. 12 years later, we have the Battle of St. Matthew, also called the Battle of Brest. Must have been a very busty experience. An English fleet of 25 ships commanded by Sir Edward Howard, and a Franco-Breton fleet of 22 ships commanded by René de Clermont. I guess, yeah, there we go. Other source says the naval battle of St. Matthew during the War of the Lake of Cambrai saw the simultaneous destruction of the Breton ship La Douairière and the English ship the Regent. Okay, so, the fighting commenced and they both seem to have lost one ship each, maybe more, I'm not sure. 1519, Ferdinand Magellan's 5 ships set sail from Seville to circumnavigate the globe. The Basque second-in-command Juan Sebastian Elcano will complete the expedition after Magellan's death in the Philippines. I believe we covered the return not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago. Because I remember I think that was, who was the guy who got killed on the Sandwich Islands?
Cook.
Cook.
Yeah.
James Cook?
I think so.
I think you may be right. I think so, yeah. 1530, Siege of Florence ended with the city's surrender to the Spanish Florence of Charles I, ending the Republic of Florence. 1566, Protestant iconoclasm Storm, iconoclastic fury, began in the European Low Countries. 1585, English Queen Elizabeth I signed the Treaty of Nonsuch. What a name, Nonsuch, which was aid for the Netherlands. So he was English, the first of England and the Dutch rebels. So I guess she's aiding in the overthrow of the Dutch monarchy, maybe
Why
to destabilize
would aid
the region.
to Netherlands be a treaty?
I don't know, especially in 1585. It's probably not for humanitarian purposes. I mean, I think they were like at war with each other or something. You know what? I'm gonna look this up. Treaty of Nonsuch. This is 1585. All right, let's see here. A 1585. There we go. Treaty of Nonsuch. Why did it do that? That was weird. Treaty of Nonsuch. Let's see here. This is fighting terms. The treaty was provoked by the signing of the Treaty of Joinville in 1584 between Philip II of Spain and the Catholic League, in which Philip II promised to finance the league. Elizabeth I agreed to supply 6,400 foot soldiers and 1,000 cavalry, who were to be led by Robert Ditchley, the first Earl of Leicester, which were initially intended as a way of lifting the siege of Antwerp with an unusual subsidy of 600,000 florins, about a quarter of the actual cost of the revolt. As a surety for this assistance, the Dutch went to hand over Brill and Flushing to England, which it would garrison at its own expense. They were known as the cautionary towns. Huh. So like all sorts of shenanigans are happening with this. Treaty of Nonsuch. Throw this in here. What else we got here? 1622. John Mason and Fernando Georges received a land patent for the province of Maine. What's a land patent? Like it's an ownership title or something? Like,
sounds like something like that, but I don't know what it is.
Land patent is a form of letters patent assigning official ownership of a particular tract of land that has gone through various legally prescribed processes, like surveying and documentation, followed by the letters signing, sealing, and publishing in public records made by a sovereign entity. While land patents are still issued by governments to indicate property is privately held, they are also often used by sovereign citizens in similar groups to illegitimate attempts to gain unlawful possession of property or avoid taxes and foreclosure. Huh. Okay. The land patents. Alright, throw that link in there. We're gathering some pretty good amount of links here today. 1628, the Swedish warship Vasa sank in Stockholm, killing 30. Now, are you familiar with the Vasa?
No.
Now, I think that we actually did a show 1 year ago on this date. And because I remember talking with you about this ship at least once before. So I'm not sure if it was earlier this year or 1 year ago, but it was around this time last year that you and I started doing shows, together like this. And then we really, like got on it in January 1st, every day. So since then. But anyway, the Vasa, like the king of Sweden, he wanted the biggest, baddest ship, on the 7 seas or whatever. And now he was no shipbuilder, but he kept demanding different additions, different alterations to the ship and everything. And despite literally everybody building the ship knowing,
remember this,
he's like, oh, I want a whole other row of decks.
Yeah.
Well, with cannons. Okay, well that shifts the center of gravity, and now you have to redesign the entire ship. You can't just throw something like that. That is massively, not good.
Yeah.
And it literally, like, they launched it, and it literally just, from launch, just sank immediately. Like, now what's funny is it's now in the museum, because if I actually look this up here, there's the image I used for the thumbnail. That's it capsizing everything. It's the Swedish government, somebody was able. That's the actual ship right there.
Oh, jeez.
So they were able to actually get it out of the ocean and onto a whole thing. So it's in a museum. That's the actual ship, rescued after having been sunk for like hundreds of years later or whatever. But apparently, I saw a news story not too long ago about something was happening. It was listing again in the museum. So it's sinking out of water. It's so bad. Like, that's hilarious. What else do we got here? 1641, the Treaty of London between Scotland and England, ending the Bishops' War, was signed. And you mentioned the other day, you've mentioned a couple of times, you're surprised just how many wars there have been through.
Our history.
Like, the first several months of this year, I didn't cover nearly as much as what I cover now. I've noticed that. Like, that's why the shows are so much longer, because there's so many things that I'm marking now that I would not have marked 6 months ago. So, but like, it just really goes to show how much, like, on a daily basis.
Yeah.
This is daily.
Yeah.
All these years, this all happened on August 10th. Throughout all these years, everything that we read, or the 9th yesterday, the 8th the day before,
Yeah.
1653, the Battle of Scheveningen, final naval battle of the First Anglo-Dutch War. English fleet defeated a Dutch fleet led by Maarten Tromp, who was killed by a sharpshooter in the rigging of William Penn's ship. He got sniped. Yikes. So, and once again, like, if you guys are offended at me butchering a word, if you can pronounce that better than what I just did, kudos to you.
Go for it.
I tried. So, 1664, Austria and the Ottoman Empire signed the Peace of Vasavar. So the Habsburg Empire and the Ottoman Empire signed the peace treaty of Vasavar, which resulted in peace until 1683, just 19 years later. So it lasted for a little bit. 1675, King Charles II and John Flamsteed laid the foundation stone of the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London. This is where everything is based on time zones, Greenwich Mean Time, GMT.
Yeah.
Like everything about time, astronomy, it all revolves around this building, which is kind of weird when you think about it. Everybody's always so anti-colonization these days. They don't realize just how much, because time is a construct of human perception.
Yes.
And it revolves around the British. 1675, Portuguese Jewish synagogue opened in Amsterdam. Okay. 3 years later, the Netherlands and France signed the peace treaty of Nineveh. 1680, telemedicine man Pope led the Pueblo rebellion against Spanish colonizers in the New Mexican province, killing 400 and driving out another 2,000. The Pueblo revolt in New Mexico there. 1741, King Marathon Varma of Travancore defeated the Dutch East India Company, VOC, at the Battle of Colachel, effectively bringing about the end of the Dutch colonial rule in India. All right. Excellent. Get them damn colonizers out of there. 1743, earliest recorded prize fighting rules were formulated. 1755, under the direction of Charles Lawrence, the British began to forcibly deport the Acadians from Nova Scotia to the 13 colonies and France. Remember what I've always said about Australia and everything?
Yeah.
At least in the more recent years?
What?
Well, after everybody knows that, Australia was founded as a penal colony.
Yeah.
But, people don't realize it's not as if they're like, oh, we have an island, let's just start shipping people there now. No. The British were already shipping, their undesirables to the 13 colonies. And when they lost those after the Revolution, they went to the newly found Terra Australis, Australia. And here's an actual example right here of them, shipping to the colonies and France. Somehow they I guess they just dropped them off on the beach and just said good luck. I don't know, because they were actively at war with France at the time, I believe, the French Indian War or something. I don't know. 1774, first Suriname newspaper, First Wednesday Suriname, began publishing. This is no longer an either source, so it might not be valid on this calendar date. But yeah, here's some images of that Suriname newspaper. That
And
is
where was
awesome.
this from? What country?
Suriname.
That's a country?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Suriname. map. There you go, right here. Right there, Suriname.
Okay.
Its capital is Paramaribo. It's in northern Africa somewhere. I'm trying to find it. There it is. No, that's South America. Never mind, that's not Africa. That's South America. My bad. Yeah, so it's right there. And this is Brazil, I believe. And then Argentina is down here. I don't know. I don't know the South America map that well. 1776 news of the United States Declaration of Independence reached London during the American Revolutionary War. You know, and it's pretty interesting how this is on the anniversary of the 1755 thing. The prisoners.
Oh, okay.
Like, and I mentioned, like, you know, then they lost the colonies, so then they had to.
Yeah.
So here we go. Like 1792, papers from the Tuileries Palace proving the Comte de Mirabeau had secret dealings with the court were revealed. Yikes. Revolutionaries stormed the Tuileries Palace in Paris. Oh, we already got that. Yeah, residents of the royal family. So during the French Revolution, storming of the Tuileries Palace, Louis the 16th was arrested and taken into custody as the Swiss guards were massacred by the Parisian mob.
Ooh.
Yikes. 1793, the Louvre Palace officially opened in Paris as a Musée Central des Arts. Yeah, well, this is after, like, the Reign of Terror. They killed all of the bourgeois. So this is actually what it looked like. Right here, it was just a greenery area where they eventually put the pyramid. Look at that.
Yeah.
But that's an actual photograph.
He just plucked it down in the courtyard.
Yeah. But that's what it looked like beforehand.
Huh.
It was like a green park
I didn't realize it
area.
went back quite that far.
Oh, yeah. No, the Louvre from
Yeah.
way back. Pardon me. So, what else do we got here? Sorry. Allergies. 1809. Actually, I wanted to show you like some other pictures. It mostly shows it with the pyramid, but here's the image I just showed you right there. It's actually a better resolution than what I just saw. And then we have like just basic artist renditions, you know, drawings, and it looks like it was uneven ground, like it wasn't paved or anything. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. 1809, the area of Quito was the first to declare itself independent of Spain and Latin America, though put down by the Spanish after 24 days. It is now Ecuador's national day because they did eventually get independence. So happy birthday, Ecuador. 1821, Missouri was admitted as the 24th U.S. state. Good old Missouri. Yeah, so like, if you mispronounce it, you'll get misery.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
Yeah.
intentional. So,
Well, I don't know about that, but
well, it's not called Happy State. So, 1822, Antioch, Syria was hit by an earthquake, killing about 20,000 people. 1831, hurricane hit Barbados, killing about 1,500 people. 1833, Chicago incorporated as a village of about 200 people.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, happy birthday, Chicago. Yeah. We have it right here. I was wondering, debating whether or not to put this in the thumbnail, and also, I think we already covered at least the initial settling of Chicago before it got
Yes, we
incorporated as a city. Yeah. So, but this is when it actually got its incorporation. So now it's official. So happy. I guess when settlers got there, it would be the inception, and then the incorporation is the birth.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we celebrate the birthday, not the inception day.
Right.
So,
Right.
1835, mob of white people in oxen pull a black school to a swamp out of Canaan, New Hampshire. Wow. Wow. They literally took a school that, you know, because of segregation and everything, that the blacks used, and moved it out of town and just threw it in a swamp. Like, I mean, like, is there systematic racism going on these days? Yeah, to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but at least people aren't literally picking up your school and putting it into a swamp. So count your blessings, shut the hell up, and work with whitey crack ass on you know, making a world that benefits both of us. How about that for an idea? Stop hating us. You know, we're not doing that crap anymore. So you know, it's crazy. 1835, P.T. Barnum began his career as a showman and circus entrepreneur by exhibiting Joyce Heth, octogenarian African slave whom he claimed was George Washington's nursemaid. I find that absolutely disgusting how he would lie like that. There's no way. Well, it's not that there's no way, but like, I mean, did he make it up? Did he, like, if he made it up or something, like how evil? Like, what an absolute evil. Like,
Either one that said P.T. Barnum, there's a sucker born every minute?
Yes, I think that is his quote. 1846, U.S. Act of Congress passed establishment of the Smithsonian Institution, now the world's largest museum and research complex. Yeah, there's the original building right there. That's the first thing. That's always such an interesting building. What's with the towers, you know? Like, it's not a cathedral, it's not a church, although it's built like one, but... Or did they occupy a former church?
I don't know.
Okay, because this is so weird. Like it looks like the front of a cathedral, but it's small, and the towers aren't uniform. But then you have like the side view coming out of the front view. You see, like
side view coming out of the front.
Well, like if you look at a cathedral, it looks like this, you know, from the side. If you look at it at the front, it looks like this part. So it looks like they have the front and the side overlapping each other. Am I making any sense?
No, I don't get
it. Okay, so you see this part here.
Yeah.
Okay? That looks like the front of the cathedral.
Yeah.
Okay? Then you see this part here.
Yeah.
That looks like the side of the cathedral.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay. So, like, it's just such a weird design. But, I'm not sure if we've been in that building, but we've been in a couple of Smithsonian buildings. Like, we were on the National Mall.
Yeah.
Like, not sure if... I don't think we went into the natural... This looks like Natural History Museum. There's a big old elephant right there.
Yeah, I don't believe we went in there.
We went in the Air and Space one.
Yeah.
And, like, a couple others. I don't remember which ones, so... 1856, hurricane washed... Actually, no, I think we did probably go to the Natural History Museum. Because I remember wanting to go to the Natural History Museum in New York as well, but we didn't go because we already went to the one in Washington.
I know we've been to the one in L.A.,
Yes.
but I don't remember going in that one.
I don't either. We have photographs. So, 1856, hurricane washed away 200 to 300 revelers on Last Island, Louisiana. Yikes. 1861, Battle of Wilson's Creek, or Battle of Oak Hills. Actually, no, I don't need to read that one. That is not marked. 1862, Battle of Nueces River in Texas, also known as Nueces Massacre. Like, why is it called a massacre? I'm going to look that up here really quick. Just do it. Nueces Massacre. Ooh, that's the first thing that comes up. Give me the link here. So, Nueces Massacre. Throw this in the underbar section. Give the hyphen, copy, paste, capitalize. Why was this called a massacre? Let's see. Oh, 37 dead, unknown, wounded, and fled. So what is this? The violent confrontation between Confederate soldiers and Unionist Texas Germans on August 10th, 1862. So it was a military engagement. So I'm not sure if massacre is the appropriate word. 1864, after Uruguay's governing Blanco party refused Brazil's demands, Jose Antonio Saraiva announced that the Brazilian military will begin reprisals beginning the Uruguayan War. 1869, O.B. Brown patented a moving picture projector. In 1869,
geez.
That's a movie projector.
Are you kidding me?
No, look at that. Oh. Thomas Edison, though, stole credit. You know, he had the money and the influence, so he tried to erase a lot of history and claim other people's inventions illegitimately and illegally. You know, I mean, every invention he stole was illegitimate, but many were legal because of the technicalities that we've discussed before. 1876, first phone call between Brantford and Paris in Canada. 1 year later, Battle of the Big Hole. U.S. Army led by Colonel John Gibbon fought the Nez Perce led by Chief Joseph and Looking Glass in Montana. Both sides suffered heavy casualties, causing the Nez Perce to continue their long fighting retreats. We covered that yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
I think we covered that yesterday.
I can't tell you what exactly the difference of the two articles are, but yeah, we did.
Yeah. 1885, Leo Daft opened America's, or I guess United States' first commercially operated electric streetcar in Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
And now, I looked this up earlier to try to find, obviously it's not that one, but it might not even be that one. Now, there's images here, it might be something like that, although that still looks a little too modern.
Yeah, it does.
But there is a street transportation history at the Streetcar Museum or something. Yeah, Streetcar Museum, Baltimore.
Yeah.
So, and this is about Baltimore too, the article. So, Go to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. They might actually have an example of a streetcar from 1885. That'd be cool.
Kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it would. 1887, excursion train crashed in Chatsworth, Illinois, killing 101 people. 1888, New York Giant pitcher Tim Keefe set a 19-game winning streak record. 1 year later, Dan Rylands patented the screw cap.
Aha.
Yeah, so like right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So beer bottles, like soda bottles. Like what's interesting is I had one of my 2-liter bottles of Shasta Cola.
Uh-huh.
And I was like sipping it, and I was literally playing with the screw cap while reading it. I'm like, oh hey, hey, happy birthday, you know. But yeah, this guy right there, good old screw cap. What else we got here? 1893, Chinese were deported from San Francisco under the Exclusion Act. 1893 as well, Rudolf Diesel's prototype internal combustion engine, a single 10-foot iron cylinder with a flywheel at its base, ran on its own power for the first time in Augsburg, Germany. We covered that a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And I spoke about the whole conspiracy behind prohibition and diesel engines can run off of the bio-vegetable stuff and everything, and there's a whole rabbit hole going on behind that. 1897, Automobile Club of Great Britain was established. It's now called the Royal Automobile Club. Oh, well, look at you, Mr. Royal Automobile Club, and your la-di-da. Why did it go that way? There you go. This is what I wanted. There we go. There's the logo. So, I wonder who that is.
Royale.
That's his name?
No.
Royale?
No.
It's so weird. He has long hair, but it's covering his neck. And he has a beard and mustache, but he's bald up here.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I have no idea who that is.
So strange. 1897, German chemist Felix Hoffmann first synthesized acrylsalic acid, which is later patented by his company Bayer under the name aspirin.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I have
Salicylic.
Pale and thin, no more bugs beneath your skin. Hey, that's just my aspirin.
Yeah, aspirin. What were you saying?
No, I just said the name, acetylsalicylic acid.
Yeah. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that Bayer, it's a German company, as we just said here. They did some things with Jewish prisoners during the Holocaust. They experimented on them. Testing various drugs and various things.
Talked about that before.
There's all sorts of nasty things. So, this is why I say, we live in the age of information. You have a magic rectangle that within seconds you can access any information, at least whatever the military-industrial complex wants us peons, to know. But this is public information. This is the conspiracy. You guys can look it up. Bayer has some really disgusting origins, some really horrible history, and as a company, they really need to go. And all people involved at the higher up, they need to be dealt with legally. They've done crimes against humanity, and they need to pay for their sins. 1901, the Chicago White Sox's Frank Isbell stranded a record 11 teammate base runners. Wow. Fire that guy. We also had the U.S. Steel recognition strike by the Amalgamated Association of Iron and Steel Workers began. Wonder for how long, over what, and how many involved, numbers. 903, the famous Viking ship, the Oseberg, dating to 820 AD, was uncovered in a burial mound near Tonsberg, Norway, with 2 female skeletons and the bones of 15 horses. And that's a photograph of it actually still being excavated out of the ground. Right there. Because they have it in a museum. Here it is. They've rebuilt it and everything, and there it is. What a glorious vessel.
It is something.
Yeah. Dude, the long
What's with
ships.
the horses?
It was in a burial mound.
I know.
So they buried him with horses or something. I don't know.
2 females and 15 horses. What the hell?
Why did they put cat organs and canoptic jars in the pyramids? It's ancient ritual stuff. I don't know, man. They did it though. 1904, Dutch newspaper Volk fired homosexual journalist Jacob D. Koch. He had to be named Koch. Seriously, wow.
D. Koch.
No. Oh no. No. No, that's not homosexuals. That's the trans. 1904, the New York Islanders pitcher Jack Chesbrough ended string of 30 consecutive complete games in a 5-1 loss to Chicago White Sox at Southside Park in Chicago. 1905, Russo-Japanese War. Peace negotiations began in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Russo-Japanese War.
No way, that makes no sense.
Peace negotiations began in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. That's an interesting location. 1906, Pope Pius X condemned the 1905 French law on the separation of the churches and state, which grants the state authority to control aspects of Catholic orthodoxy and worship, encyclical Gravissimo Officii Munier. Well, of course he'd be against that. You know, it takes power away from him. He doesn't like that. Even though he's in Italy, it has nothing to do with France. 907, Prince Sicilian Borghese won the Beijing to Paris 7,500-mile auto rally. Wow.
That's a long rally.
That is. Has anything like that been attempted, since? Or at least in the past, half century?
I have no idea.
Driving all the way from Beijing to Paris? Then again, you're going to have to, drive through some literal war zones. So I don't think it's even feasible anymore
Probably
today.
not.
1911, Parliament Act reduced the power of UK's House of Lords. Great. So it says here they also voted. The UK House of Commons voted on an annual salary of £400 for its members. So connected. Obviously, they voted on these two things, which is both 1911. And I wonder, though, if this is more or less than their previous salary. Are they giving them a pay reduction? Or because if you can vote to increase your own pay, that shouldn't be a thing.
They do all the time. Our Congress does that.
Yeah, and I don't think they should be allowed to. What gives them the right to tell us that we need to pay taxes, and then they dictate how much of that goes to themselves? Theft! Hello!
So how are you going to determine how much they get paid?
Have some other branch vote on it or something. I don't know, but they shouldn't have power over their own salaries. That's not right. Because that's just if they increase it, that increases taxes. So we all have to pay even more because they want more money? No, I do not accept that. No. 1913, the Treaty of Bucharest ended the Second Balkan War as Bulgaria ceded territory. So delegates from Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, Montenegro, and Greece signed the Treaty of Bucharest, ending the war, the Second Balkan War right there. 1914, at Liège, German 12-inch and 16.5-inch guns reached the Belgian border. Uh-oh. We also have German battlecruiser Goeben reached the Dardanelles, and Turkey joins Germany. Turkey being the Ottomans.
Yeah.
1919, Ukrainian National Army massacred 25 Jews in Podolia, Ukraine. What the heck, Ukraine? We also have Gasoline Alley comic strip by Frank King premiered in the Chicago Tribune. So we have a good old, comic or something. I don't know why it's called Gasoline Alley. That sounds like a terrible place to live because at any given moment the U.S. is going to liberate. I was going to say invade, but no, liberate. That's the word. You're making a joke there. At any moment, get gasoline. So 1920, Allies recognized Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Romania. Great. Mamie Smith and her Jazz Hounds recorded "Crazy Blues" for OK Records, the first significant blues hit by a black Canadian artist. And this is actually a really cool song. Classic blues.
Yeah.
Oh
no, I love it.
Old school. That kind of reminds me of a Key and Peele skit. Hold on, let me like this video really quick. Just give it a like. But this guy's asking for some old school and everything, and he puts on something from really, really old. Can you imagine this music playing at a club and then everybody dancing? He's doing the freaking robot, Ridiculous. 1920, the Turkish government renounced its claim to Israel. You mean Palestine? Because it wasn't called Israel back then; it was Palestine. or whatever. That's weird. The Turkish government renounced its claim to Israel and recognized the British mandate of Palestine. This almost sounds like this is because Israel didn't exist before 1948. Now, the tribes of Israel, the Israelites, all that stuff, yada yada. But the country, especially the area that it exists on, it was not called Israel. It was called, the various kingdoms and all that stuff, yada yada. And since then, it was taken from the Jews. By the Islamists. Then the Crusades happened. They took it from the Islamists. The Islamists took it back, and then since then it has been Muslim. It has been Palestine forever. But for whatever reason, the way this is written, it almost sounds like it was Israel. Like they're trying to alter history. Like this is what I keep saying. Like they're trying to push the idea that it's always been Israel. It hasn't. That's a lie.
No, it says it's renouncing its claims
to Israel.
Oh, this is 1920. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is 28 years before the formation of Israel. And don't forget the Balfour Declaration from 1919. So there's all sorts of fishy history. You people have got to look at the head of the snake. Like everybody's always focused on what's going on today or what went on 20 years ago or whatever. No, look 100 years ago. Look more. This stuff. There's some really shady stuff happening at the very beginning that really sets the precedent for the whole story. 1920, Treaty of Severus was signed between the victorious World War I allies and the Ottoman Empire, giving Ottoman territories to France, Greece, and Italy, replaced by the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923, 3 years later. That's telling me to image search this, so I wonder if there's some cool thing. What is that? We'll get to that here in a minute. That's Lego. We haven't covered Lego yet. So yeah, this is a map of what I just spoke about. French mandate, British mandate, French influence, Italian influence. There's Greece, international control this area, and then there's Ottoman Empire. And of course, Constantinople or now Istanbul is somewhere right here or something, I believe. So what else do we got here? In 1921, Franklin D. Roosevelt was stricken with a paralytic illness in his summer home on the Canadian island of Campobello, which is thought to be polio at the time, but could possibly be Guillain-Barré syndrome. So this is when he got stricken with his illness. 1 century ago, in 1926, Italian-Spanish peace treaty was signed. Here we go, another end of a war. 29, Grover Alexander defeated the Phillies 7-1 for his 373rd and final National League win. 32, a 5.1 kilogram or 11.2 pound chondrite-type meteorite broke into at least 7 pieces and landed near the town of Archie in Cass County, Missouri. 32 as well, the Lego Group was founded in Billund, Denmark by Ole Kirk Christiansen. The name is a contraction of the Danish words leg and gods, meaning play well in English.
Ah.
Leg gods, Lego. And here we have the original pieces and everything. What's really cool is you can take the original pieces, from 1932 with a piece made in 2025, and they will fit.
Yeah.
They stuck to their brand. It's amazing. They started off as some kind of Lincoln log type thing or whatever. They had. I've seen a video about their experimentation and all that stuff in the beginning, but eventually they started making what we know today. It's it didn't start off like this. They're a toy company. They made this the classic little you pull the duck thing and and the wheels spin and the beak opens and closes. They built those. That's pretty cool. Yeah. 34, Babe Ruth announced this is his final season as a full-time player. 36, 114 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 Celsius, recorded in Plain Dealing at Louisiana, state record. We also have 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 Celsius, recorded in Ozark, Arkansas, state record. 36, we have the first time Olympic cycling road race was conducted as a mass start event with Frenchmen Robert Carpentier and Guy Levedale taking gold and silver and France winning the team gold medal. Excellent. 37, Spanish Civil War. The Regional Defense Council of Aragon was dissolved by the Second Spanish Republic. 1938, 119 Fahrenheit or 48 Celsius, recording in Pennington, Oregon, state record. 39, second Dutch De Geer government formed, first with Social Democrats. 41, Mom's Time. Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Churchill's second meeting took place in Placentia Bay, Newfoundland. 42, 200 Jews escaped the Mir ghetto in Poland. All right, I wonder how many of them survived. Like, were any of them hunted? Any of them returned? Like, General Bernard Montgomery was appointed commander of the British 8th Army in North Africa. Bad decision. 42, Henry J. Kaiser opened the Kaiser Richmond Field Hospital for Kaiser Shipyards in Richmond, California, pioneering the Kaiser Permanente healthcare model.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, industrialist Henry J. Kaiser. So you know things are bad when your healthcare system revolves around a capitalist. Because that means that you're a money generation. Your health means they're non-profit. If you're not healthy, they can charge you. That's not good. 43. Adolf Hitler watched a lynching of Allied pilots. Yikes, man.
Oh, man.
I was just, when I first read that, I was just like, imagine being those pilots and seeing Hitler being like, "You son of a bitch," and then, yeah, that's it. 43. U.S. General George S. Patton slapped a battle-fatigued soldier at an evacuation hospital, calling him cowardly and threatened him with a pistol. Now, we covered this a week ago or so.
We did.
Yeah, I even played that little scene from the movie Patton.
Yep.
And went on a rant and all that stuff. 44. Battle for Guam ended with U.S. troops recapturing Guam from the Japanese. Effective end, meaning pockets of resistance. So, 44. Braves Red Barrett threw only 58 pitches to shut out the Cincinnati Reds 2-0. We also have 45. Japan announced its willingness to surrender to the Allies, provided Emperor Hirohito's status remains unchanged. The gall of these people. So, other source says the Japanese government announced that a message had been sent to the Allies accepting the terms of the Potsdam Declaration, provided that it, quote, does not compromise any demand that prejudices the prerogatives of the emperors as sovereign ruler, end quote. Oh, shove it. You lost. Like,
yeah.
The gall of these people to make such a demand. I think we ultimately, honored that. I'm not sure, but the emperor absolutely does not have any power anymore, that's for sure.
No.
Lose time! Except it's 2 years later, 1948, ABC Network TV at 7 p.m., WJZ in New York. Okay, pretty interesting that they have the specific time there. Alan Funt's Candid Camera TV debuts on ABC. Candid Camera made its television debut after being on radio for a year as a candid microphone. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. I did today, but I read it a while ago, but 2 years ago I didn't know about it. And then this probably largely inspired all these TikTok, toxic pranksters and everything going around doing stuff and it's just a prank, bro. Probably inspired what's his face, Johnny Somali or whatever his name is. 1949, U.S. National Military Establishment renamed the Department of Defense. Oh, there we go. So an amendment to the National Security Act of 1947 enhanced the authority of the United States Secretary of Defense over the Army, Navy, and Air Force, and replaced the National Military Establishment with the Department of Defense. Now, here's a problem with technicalities and legal jargon and all these laws and litigation and everything. Since then, and I'm sure that they covered it, but I'm also not entirely sure, that they did. Does this also cover the Space Force? Because the Space Force has since been made.
Yeah.
But this says right here, enhance the authority of the United States Secretary of Defense over the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Well, when they created the Space Force, did they have to retroactively shoehorn that into that as well? Or did they forget that? Because does he not have authority over the Space Force?
He has authority over the Space Force.
Legally, though? Did they do that in the document?
I haven't looked at it, but I'm sure they did because they've created another division of the military.
Yeah.
And it falls under the guise of the Secretary of War now.
Yeah. 1950, Sunset Boulevard, a Stadium film noir directed by Billy Wilder and starring William Holden and Gloria Swanson, premiered at Radio City Music Hall. 3 years later, we have the First Indochina War. The French Union withdrew its forces from Operation Kamaruk against the Viet Minh in central Vietnam. 53, Vietnam stuff was going on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 54, all-time great English jockey Sir Gordon Richards retired from the saddle with a British record 4,870 winning rides. At Masada, New York, the groundbreaking ceremony for the St. Lawrence Seaway was held. Pretty cool. Let's do a little image search of this really quick. Who is that? Yeah, we got the Lego. So, we're going to cover that here in a minute as well. But yeah, here's an image of a portion of the St. Lawrence Seaway, like a little canal thing going on. Someone screeching their tires outside. 1956, 23rd NFL Chicago All-Star Game. Cleveland 26, All-Stars 0.
Wow.
Before its 75,000 attendees. Wow, how do you suck so bad? 1960, Discoverer 13 launched into orbit and returned the first object from space. What was the object? Like, this is obviously not this space shuttle in 1960. No, Discoverer, not Discovery. Or maybe that's just like the capsule returning. I don't know.
Well, once you've been to space and come back, aren't you an object from space now?
That's what I'm thinking of. Like, everything before this probably was sent up and then burnt up on re-atmosphere. Or really in the atmosphere on re-entry. Like, 1960, it sounds about right. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, that really, like, gives credence to the whole pressure. Like, you know, we're going to put a man on the moon by the end of this decade. Well, at the start of this decade, we couldn't even bring anything back from space.
Yeah.
Let alone send them all the way to the moon and bring them back. Like, that's a massive, you know, leap in innovation right there. Los Angeles premiere of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, starring
yeah.
Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. Ah, here we go. Yeah, I remember this.
Shower.
Yeah. Oh, this.
Oh.
I don't know why that scene lives rent free in my head. It's just so random, you know. Oh. 19. Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. 1961, UK applied for membership of the European Common Economic Community, and now they're no longer in there anymore. During the Vietnam War, the U.S. Army began Operation Range Hand, spraying an estimated 20 million U.S. gallons, or 76,000 m of defoliants and herbicides over rural areas of South Vietnam in an attempt to deprive the Viet Cong of food and vegetation cover. Now, is this Agent Orange? It sounds like it.
I'm not sure. I don't. It may be,
Yeah.
but I can't remember because Agent Orange isn't the flammable one, right?
No. That's napalm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
that's
Agent
gotta
Orange,
It's
yeah.
got to be Agent Orange.
Because like Agent Orange, like we know what that did. Like it caused horrible, you know, defects to people and all that stuff. And it was made by a little company at the time known as Monsanto, which is now it's the world's largest pesticide company and food supplier of seeds and all that stuff. Not to mention what Monsanto has done, suing, you know, small farms in oblivion and all that stuff. But anyway, to the main point here, all they did was slightly alter the formula, and then they made Roundup. I mean, think about it. 20,000, you know, or 20 million U.S. gallons of defoliants and herbicides and everything. What's Roundup? It's a weed killer and everything. It's a defoliant. It's an herbicide. It's literally Agent Orange. And now all these people like there's been a whole scandal and Roundup is no longer like in good graces with the public because like so many people have died of cancer and it's been proven that it causes stuff. Like we'll actually cover an article about that here later on. 1963. Little Stevie Wonder's single Fingertips Part 2 began a three-week run, making him the youngest singer to top the charts at 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is it right here with the bongos. And the harmonica.
Yeah. That's famous for that.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
That's a cool little film you got there.
yeah, it is. Fingertips Part 2. Throw this link. Yeah. Pretty cool. Oh, we gotta move on up here. 1963, we got that one. 1965, United States Air Force test pilot Joe Engle in the X-15 reached an altitude of 51.3 miles or 82.6 kilometers and a top speed of 3,550 miles per hour or 5,713 kilometers an hour. Mach 5.2. Wow. 5.2 times the speed of sound. Because Mach 1 is the speed of sound.
Yeah.
So, 1966, NASA launches Lunar Orbiter 1 to the moon to photograph the lunar surface. Well, let's take an image search of this here really quick. Lunar surface. So apparently, I guess it's this one. It can't be this one. Is it this one? Like, no, it would have been. This is not the Earth from the moon. This is of the lunar surface. This is but they're superimposing the thing over it, and that actually looks like a capsule. There's like a porthole there. So this is, I don't know. Something's weird. I don't know what actual photo. Would it be this one? Like,
that does look like the moon, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like, is this the same photo?
I don't know.
That we were talking about here. You know, I'd like to actually look at the photo we were talking about. 1966 as well, the Huron Road Bridge collapsed while being built, killing 9 workers in the deadliest construction accident in both Ottawa and Ontario. Let's just do a quick image, just images of destruction. Wow, dude, look at that. Right there. So this section looks like it collapsed right here. 1968, race riots in Miami, Chicago, and Little Rock. What's going on? Like, why is it happening in 3 places at once? That's a little weird. 1969, Don Sutton broke his 13-game losing streak to the Cubs with a 4-2 win. 1969, members of the Manson family cult, including leader Charles Manson, killed Leno and Rosemary LaBianca in their Los Angeles, California home, completing the crime known as the Tate LaBianca murders. We covered that yesterday. Yeah, we covered that a little bit yesterday. We have from other source, a day after murdering actress Sharon Tate and 4 others, members of Charles Manson's cult killed Leno and Rosemary LaBianca. So yeah, they did the other murders yesterday, so we covered all those. So this is, we did not cover this yesterday. We covered the link yesterday, but yeah. 1970, British Home Secretary Reginald Maulding threatened to impose direct rule on Northern Ireland if the agreed reform measures were not carried out. Jim Morrison's trial for lewd and lascivious behavior began in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Now, as someone who was kind of acquainted with that guy, right?
Yeah.
Does this fall in the wheelhouse for him? Being lewd and lascivious?
Well, yes, as far as that goes, but what they actually did, no. Because I talked to really people very close to it, and it was a different situation than they.
Well, let us know the story then.
Huh?
Let us know the story then.
Well, I don't want to say because it's, I don't know how factual it is. It's hearsay.
Okay,
So
well,
that's not right.
well, I mean, you're right. Like, it is hearsay, but it might also be true. We don't know. It could just as well. Like, right now, it's a 50-50 shot to our knowledge. So it's up to you. I would like you to say it, even if it turns out not to be true. It's at least like that is its own little section of history,
Yeah, well, as it was told to me, he took put his hand down his pants and stuck his finger out.
Oh, this
his
story.
fly.
Okay.
Yeah, and they said no, he exposed himself.
So they were trumping up the charges just to get at him. Sounds like, which is pretty common. Actually, I believe that story a lot more if he actually did do what they accused him of. So, it was Jim Morrison. So, yeah. 71, during the internment roundup operation in West Belfast, the parachute regiment killed 11 unarmed civilians in what became known as the Ballymurphy Massacre. Yikes, shame on you guys. 71 as well, 16 baseball researchers formed the Society for American Baseball Research. It was founded in Cooperstown, New York. That town loves baseball.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, like you've talked with me, like you love the movie Moneyball, right?
Yeah. Oh, well,
yeah. Well, I haven't seen it, so just tell me, what's cool about that movie? What's it about anyway?
Well, it's about a guy trying to do a theory on baseball by the numbers, and it's all about the money.
Statistics and everything. Are you talking about betting? Are you talking about potential of?
No, not betting. They're talking about how much a player costs a franchise and what he produces. So the whole premise is he hires this guy who's a statistician, and they put together a team very inexpensively. And starts out as a disaster, and then they start winning and winning and winning, and the numbers came true.
Now, is it based on a real story, and is it actually accurate?
I don't know how accurate it is. I think there's some. I know the Oakland A's were a very inexpensive team, shall we say. So the premise is correct, but I don't know how true it is.
Now, were they the baseball form of the Raiders?
Oh, no, the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders are a doorknob. Because they're going, they all go everywhere. Everyone gets a turn.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Well, the A's are in Oakland. I think they're still in Oakland, aren't they? No, they're in Las Vegas now.
So are the
Or
Raiders.
the Raiders. No, I don't know.
I don't. I think I just confused you.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
I knew they used to be the Washington A's, and they moved to Oakland. At Washington, D.C.
We're going to move on up another 1971 here. Twins Harmon Killebrew became the 10th player to amass 500 home runs, and then hit 500 first. Just, as a little sugar on top there. 72, a 1 million kilogram meteor grazed the atmosphere above Canada. What? A freaking moon, like a spaced thing, like just skipped us like a skipping stone on a pond. It's like, bleep.
That's weird.
Isn't that horrifying to think about?
Yeah.
Like, a 1 million kilogram meteorite grazed atmosphere above Canada. Like, and I want to show these. What's the difference between a comet, a meteorite, a micrometeorite, a meteorite, a fireball, a bolide, a meteor, and an asteroid? They all are different. Like, and then apparently it's not just that, but it's apparently like there's something to do with their various like depths in our atmospheres. So like in the thermosphere, you have meteorite, mesosphere, meteor or shooting star, stratosphere, fireball, and troposphere, meteorites. Then you have asteroid and a comet all the way up here, and all sorts of things. So, so much various classifications.
Put that in the underbar.
Those. Well, I mean, they can look this up. Like, they can actually, they can go to our primary source. And this is this one here. Copy this. Literally paste it in here, and here's one of the images that I just showcased right there. Let's see the depths, and the other one is right there, so they can find it. And I just told them how. Like, so like I don't want to feed them everything. I want people to learn how to be self-reliant and all that stuff. Like, I'm trying to train adults how to act their age. 72, Paul and Linda McCartney and their band Wings were arrested in Gothenburg, Sweden, on drug possession charges when customs officials discovered a package of hashish.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Ah, maybe. 72, the Great Fireball, a rare daylight meteor visible from Utah, U.S. to Alberta, Canada, passed 35 miles above Earth's surface. And there's actually a video of it. Check this out. So this is actually what I just read. This is it right there.
I don't see it.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Great balls of fire.
Da-da-da.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah. But dude, like, this is a video from 1972. Like, that's 50 some odd years ago. And I only know about it because when I was looking up, like, I looked up for images and everything, there's an image of it, but it says YouTube. I'm like, oh, and this is a different video from a different angle. Remember, this is all the way from, like,
This footage of a meteorite in flight was taken quite by chance in Alberta in 1972.
yeah, it was taken by chance. I'm not sure if you can hear the guy.
Yeah, I can hear him. I can't hear everybody saying.
Yeah, he was saying taken by chance. Somebody would just so happen to be videoing for some other reason,
saw that in the sky.
and then they caught it. Yeah, that's so awesome, dude. What else do we got here? 1973, the first Bay Area rapid transit, the BART train, travels through Transbury Tube to Montgomery Saint Station. And I was looking up, like, once again for thumbnails and everything, and this, I thought about putting this in the thumbnail. It kind of looks like eerie. Like, you're in the tunnel and the train is coming. But what are you going to do? Like, you're going to die. That's what you're going to do. Like,
I've been on BART.
Nice. 75, David Frost purchased exclusive rights to interview former U.S. President Richard Nixon. 1 year later, Elton John performed the first of 7 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden in New York City to conclude his North American tour. Provisional Irish Republican Army volunteer was shot dead by the British Army as he drove in Belfast. His car went out of control and killed 3 children, sparking peace rallies throughout the month by the Peace People. All because the British refused to stop their colonialism of Scotland and Ireland. Just let them be free. 77, about 100 white sympathizers joined evicted black squatters in a protest against the demolition of shanty dwellings outside Cape Town, South Africa. Now, this is something that, BLM and all these craptivists and everything, they don't discuss. This is on the anniversary of when we dragged their school out. So, yes, we did horrible things, but we as a people have learned from them, and we are doing our best to be better. We're not perfect. But everybody seems to have like a revenge boner against white people, and it doesn't matter, how much lessons that we learned. They just want to learn those same lessons for whatever reason. They don't want to. They want to do to us what we did to them without learning from our mistakes. What's the point of being human if we're not doing what we're designed to do, which is help each other? It's absolutely ridiculous. But right here we have about 100 white sympathizers standing in solidarity with blacks, who are at risk of losing their shanty house.
Yeah.
This is all they have in the world. So on the same date, 100 years apart, we go from putting their school in a swamp to standing up against other white people to keep their houses. If that's not something to cheer for, I don't know what is.
The ultimate thing is to get them out of Shantytown.
Yeah, well, let's make sure that they
Through
keep
prosperity.
their houses. Yes. They're about to lose their shantytown.
I know.
So let's stop that, and then I agree. Let's move forward. Let's get them their own houses and everything. But we gotta work somewhere, and hating and spitting at each other ain't yielding crap. 1977, Phillies and Expos played a doubleheader that ended at 3:23 in the morning. Oh hell!
Gee, they have generally a curfew time.
Apparently not back then.
I guess. Well, I'm pretty sure they did, but I don't know how they did that. It's got to be a reason.
No idea. We also have postal employee David Berkowitz was arrested in Yonkers, New York. He's accused of being the son of Sam, a .44 caliber killer, or 44 caliber gun, I guess is what it is.
Yeah.
So he was arrested for a series of killings in the New York City area over a period of 1 year. A 24-year-old postal employee.
Yep.
Oh. We also have U.S. and Panama signed the Panama Canal Zone Accord. I'm just going to surface level scratch this really quick just to see. Torrijos-Carter treaties? No, 1977 treaties transferring the Panama Canal from the U.S. to Panama after 1999. Okay, so this is a whole thing. I'm going to throw this here in the end of our Panama Canal treaties. Throw that there.
Yeah, and there were certain specifications to this that they had to abide by, and later on, this year or last year, the Chinese had been putting military bases at each end of it. All along it, and Trump came and said, no, we have an agreement with you, and you're not abiding by it, putting our enemies in there. So they had to kick all the Chinese out.
Now, I may be wrong, but I'm under the impression that the current, at least ownership is that Panama owns the land of the canal, but the U.S. we sovereign the water. I think that's the current setup, of jurisdiction and everything. 1978, 3 members of the Ulrich family were killed in an accident. This led to the Ford Pinto litigation. And you remember the whole Pinto thing?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Rear ending.
Yep. 1979, Off the Wall, the 5th studio album by Michael Jackson, was released. Billboard Album of the Year, 1980. All right. Michael Jackson in Freezer. I just have to play this because this just entered my head really quick. So.
Fuck it, I'm hungry, bro. Let's see. I ain't got no food, bro. Yo, who the fuck put Michael Jackson in the freezer?
I don't know how he got his voice so high. That's a talent. Probably haunted by the very ghost of Michael Jackson in the freezer there. 79 as well, Ecuador adopted its 17th constitution, extending citizenship and suffrage to all Ecuadorians over the age of 18. All right. 1980, Alan, the most powerful hurricane in the Caribbean, hit Brownsville, Texas. Well, any deaths, injuries, damage? How much did it cost? 81, Coca-Cola Bottling Company agreed to invest $34 million in black-owned businesses. And that would be cool if it wasn't for the fact that in modern times they had a memo saying be less white. So it starts making me wonder if they were anti-white all the way back to this time. 1981, MLB Philadelphia Phillies Pete Rose, with his 3,631st career hit, broke Stan Musial's National League hit record. Richard Nixon Museum in San Clemente, California, closed. And wasn't that his other house in San Clemente? 'Cause, we went to the current one.
Yeah.
And it showed the old one, which was it was made after, because that used to be actually his governor's mansion or his private residence or something. That was his property.
That was called Cotton's.
Cottonwood or
no Cotton?
Just Cotton?
I don't. The guy's name must have been Cotton, but for surfers it was called Cotton's Point.
Oh, okay.
But the structure was Cotton's, I guess.
Okay, never heard of that.
So then it became his residence on the ocean.
Oh, okay. So he didn't build it; he bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this one's a little brutal. Pardon me. I debated telling you about this earlier, but I wanted your actual reaction live on camera. We have the murder of Adam Walsh. The head of John Walsh's son was found. This inspired the creation of the television series America's Most Wanted and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well,
I'm under the understanding his son was never found.
Well, maybe not. Well, Mandela effect, maybe?
I don't know.
I seem to remember what you're saying, too.
Never followed it close, but the whole premise of the whole thing was that his son was never found. That shocks me.
Huh. I don't know. I'm going to need somebody to look into that. Tell us if we've discovered.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I didn't follow it.
I'm not saying you are or not.
Yeah.
I'm saying maybe there's a Mandela effect, or maybe we're misremembering something, or maybe our secondary source is outright lying for whatever reason. I don't know. I do remember what you're saying. I was just so taken aback about finding.
It very well could have been, and I just never heard about it.
Yeah, neither did I.
That's simple.
Oh. Anyway, 1984, famous Mary Decker Zola Budd collision during 3,000 meter at the Los Angeles Olympics.
Yeah.
Decker fell. Budd finished 7th, and Marika Pagugi of Romania won. I'm gonna have to look at this. Hold on a second. Mary Decker Zola Budd collision. Oh, hold on a second.
Mary
There
Decker
you go.
was a favorite to win.
Here we go.
Real popular, yeah. And that's Mary Decker there.
Oh, there you go. That fair fell. Uh-oh. I see her. She's struggling. She had some weird leg wobble. There she goes again. Oh, wow. It almost seemed like she was trying to trip her.
Well, that was the claim. That's why I kind of nasty.
No, she tripped her. She straight up tripped her, dude. No. What do you think? That just...
I don't know.
I don't know. 84 as well. Ian Ferguson of New Zealand won 2 canoeing gold medals in one day, winning the K1 500 and K2 500 with Paul McDonald at the Los Angeles Olympics. He won K4 1000 the next day. Wow. 84, the U.S. defeated Spain 96-65 to win the men's basketball gold medal at the Los Angeles Olympics. Future Dream Team members Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, and Chris Mullen featured. 85, Uno Lindström of Sweden juggled a soccer ball 13.11 miles, or 21.09 kilometers. How? Was he juggling it and moving, or is this
I don't know.
Did they measure how long in every game? Because I looked this up, and it just showed me images of him out on the field and everything, and then for whatever reason, just a Swedish soccer ball.
So he must have gone around. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
If I
Juggles a soccer ball.
list of world records in athletics, this isn't telling me about this specific guy. Maybe it does in there, but I don't have the time to look that up.
No.
Oh. 1986, Yankees retired Billy Martin's uniform number 1 during Billy Martin Day at Yankee Stadium. Ayo's time!
Hey.
Can I get through my life in negative 14 minutes? 1987, a flight readiness firing of Discovery's main engines was successful. Kevin Gross was the second pitcher in 8 days to be ejected for scuffing the ball. Yeah, didn't we talk about that guy not long ago? The other guy scuffing the ball or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't know if it was scuffing or
Something. Yeah.
yeah, no, it was a file or something.
Oh, yeah. 88 as well. The United Nations estimated Asia's population has hit 3 billion. Now, like, what does scuffing do? Like, it changes its flight, or like what's the big deal about
it
that?
It allows you to grip it in a certain, in that scuff spot, and you can do different things with it.
Okay, yeah.
And then
more friction.
A spitter actually isn't spit; it's a lubricant.
Oh.
You have it in the back of your neck or something. You touch it, and then you can slime the ball out of your hand, so to speak, and make it do certain things.
Maybe it first started off as spit.
Yeah,
like,
could have been.
88, the United Nations estimate, we got that one. The Japanese Stadium Internment, U.S. President Ronald Reagan signed the Civil Liberties Act of 1988, providing $20,000 payments to Japanese stadiums whom were either interned in or relocated by the United States during the Second World War. I fully support this. I don't support all this reparation crap going on today, because not every black, U.S. citizen is the descendant of a slave, and not every white man is the descendant of a slave owner. So stop punishing us for shit we didn't do. Anyway, 89, Australia was 0-3-0-1 at the end of the day, or end of day 1 on the 5th Test cricket match at Trent Bridge, whatever that means. 1990, NASA's Magellan spacecraft arrived at Venus, and the massacre of more than 127 Muslims in northeast Sri Lanka by paramilitaries is terrible. 92, satellite Topex Poseidon launched. What kind of satellite was that? GPS, telecommunications, military, just gonna look this up here really quick. What is this? It was a joint satellite altimeter mission between NASA, the U.S. Space Agency, and CNES, the French Space Agency, to map ocean surface topography. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's throw this in here. Topex Poseidon. 93, an earthquake measuring 7.0 on the Richter scale hit the South Island of New Zealand. Now, there's actually two. We have two earthquakes affecting New Zealand, a 7.0 MW shock, intensity of 6, which is strong, in the South Island was followed 9 hours later by a 6.4 event, intensity of 7, very strong, in the North Island.
Wow.
Now, just not 24 hours ago, the area we were talking about, Cali in Colombia yesterday. Pretty interesting, because in Cali, Colombia, they had a horrid earthquake earlier today. Today, in 2026.
Oh.
I saw a video about it, actually. Cali, Colombia earthquake. The buildings are collapsing, churches. Here's a video of it right here from NBC in Vasa.
A 7.4 magnitude earthquake.
But I'm trying to find.
How much was it? 0.4?
A 7.4. Yeah. Check out this church.
Oh.
The whole thing just kind of collapsed and went down.
Yeah.
This was today. This video was 9 hours ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is recent. So my heart goes out to those in Colombia and everything. I think it was an attack, like a weather warfare attack or something. So there's because apparently the president of Colombia is doing good, and I have several theories of my own as to why our government would not want that.
The capability of triggering.
Oh, absolutely. We not Colombia, but us or China or somebody. I don't know. Apparently, what he's doing, because I'm not following, so I don't know. But apparently, he was doing good things, and then all of a sudden, this happens. So I don't know. 93, Columbia Records released The River of Dreams, singer-songwriter Billy Joel's 12th and final studio album, unless he changes his mind. That's interesting. A weird thing to add there.
Yeah.
So, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was sworn in as U.S. Supreme Court Justice. Hey. 94, last British troops left Hong Kong. They had been there since September of 1841. Wow, the same troops? That's a long time to be stationed there. Send them home already. 95, the Dodgers led 2-1 in the 9th and forfeited the game to the Cardinals as fans became unruly. What the hell, dude? They were winning and they forfeited? Like,
Well,
were they threatened
had
with
to
death
call
or
the
something?
game because the fans went crazy. It doesn't sound like Dodger fans to me, but
Well, no, the fans for the
umpire-
Cardinals.
no. The Dodgers led 2-1 in the ninth and forfeit the game to Cardinals as fans become unruly.
It doesn't specify fans of what team, it just says
Well,
fans
the
in general.
fact that the Dodgers forfeited, it had to be their fans. So the umpire said it's too dangerous to go back on we're calling the game.
But why is that so obvious? Why can't it be because the Cardinal fans are starting to yell death threats at
Because
Dodger
then
players?
the Cardinals would have forfeited the game.
Oh, so that's the rules?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of crap. You have no control over your fans. That's not
Well,
right.
You're responsible for them.
Well, that's not right. No, you can't be... No, that's not right. The Dodgers aren't the parents of all their fans.
Of course not.
That's ridiculous. 95, Oklahoma City bombing. Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols were indicted for the bombing. Michael Fournier pled guilty in a plea bargain for his testimony.
But the basic thing is that's their house. That's the Dodgers' house. Take care of it.
But what if they're visiting?
Then it would be St. Louis's problem.
Okay. 1996, Darren Go ended Cigar's record-tying victory streak at 16. That sounds like horse racing. So, 96 as well. New Zealand defeated South Africa 29-18 in Cape Town to win the inaugural Tri-Nations Rugby Series with an unbeaten record. All Blacks fly half Andrew Metrans landed 5 penalties and 2 conversions. 97, Anaheim Angels Tony Phillips was arrested for purchasing cocaine. Atlanta Braves signed Greg Maddux to a then record 5-year, $57.5 million deal. 1999, 1 person was killed and 5 people were injured in the Los Angeles Jewish Community Center shooting. Let's not forget...
No, I don't remember that.
Well, I was going to bring up a more recent event in Australia. At that one
yeah.
beach and everything.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not forget that and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And, I can say exactly what's causing that. So, 2001, the U.S. and U.K. rejected a proposal by UN Secretary General Kofi Annan to permit the Iraqi government to use $1 billion with a B dollars per year to fund infrastructure improvements and to increase oil production capacity. The 2001 Angola train attack occurred, causing 252 deaths. It's terrifying. We also have the Space Shuttle program. The Space Shuttle Discovery was launched on STS-105 to the International Space Station, carrying the astronauts in Expedition 3 to replace the crew of Expedition 2. 2002, New Zealand defeated South Africa 30-23 in Durban to win their 4th Tri-Nations Rugby Series. All Blacks score 4 tries to 2. Okay. 2003, highest temperature ever recorded in the UK at 38.5 degrees Celsius, or 101.3 Fahrenheit in Kent. The first time the UK recorded a temperature over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Wow. 2003, the Okinawa Urban Monorail was opened in Naha, Okinawa. Pretty cool. 2006, Scotland Yard disrupted a major terrorist plot to destroy aircraft traveling from the United Kingdom to the United States. All toiletries were banned from commercial aircraft. Wow.
Yeah.
So that almost sounds like, like a company like Crest lobbying to crack down on that. So that way they force people traveling to have to buy toothpaste, more profit, so. 2008, Stadium superstar swimmer Michael Phelps won the 400-meter individual medley at the Beijing Olympics in a world record time of 4 minutes, 3.84 seconds. We also have British cyclist Nicole Cook won the road race at the Beijing Olympics, earning Great Britain's 200th gold in the modern Olympics. 2009, 20 people were killed in Handlova, Trenčín region, in the deadliest mining disaster in Slovakia's history. Let's hope they don't break that record. 2012, the Marikana massacre began near Rosenberg, South Africa, resulting in the deaths of 47 people. 2013, 6 people were killed after Palawa volcano erupted in Indonesia. Yeah. 2014, Israeli and Palestinian officials agreed to a 72-hour ceasefire proposed by Egypt. We also have unrest broke out in Ferguson, Missouri after the shooting death of Black Stadium Michael Brown at the age of 18 by police officer Darren Wilson. I did a whole rant, about Ferguson and all that stuff yesterday and all that and whatnot. And it just really pisses me off whenever, the black community just acts like a toddler having a temper tantrum whenever stuff like this happens and they burn down their own community. It's like, guys, you're proving the racist right. Stop it. All right, stop it. Take a breath. Realize one of your own did something bad, and let's work together towards a better future. How about that? Can we please? Can we stop with the hatred? 2015, 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 43 Celsius, and Apalachicola, Florida, broke the state record of 109 or 48 or 42.8 set back in 1931. Wow.
Pretty damn hot.
Yeah. 2015, Google announced its restructuring as Alphabet, a holding company with Google, YouTube, Android, and Chrome as its subsidiaries. Oh, crap. We have Android phones. So, yeah, well, it's a good thing we don't really use them. So, 2016, an 18-year-old Australian, Kyle Chalmers, created a huge upset when he swam a junior world record of 47.58 seconds to win the men's 100-meter freestyle gold medal at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Excellent. South Korean shooter Jin Kong-oh recovered from 7th place during the final to set an Olympic record of 193.7, I guess, score, and to win the gold in men's 50-meter pistol at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. He was the first shooter to win 3 consecutive Olympic gold medals in one event. That is epic. So 2016 as well, weightlifter Nijat Raimov of Kazakhstan set a world record with a 214-kilogram lift in the clean and jerk and finished with a 379-kilogram total to win the gold medal in the men's 77-kilogram category at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. 2017, 100-year-old fruitcake by Huntley and Palmer's was deemed almost edible after being discovered in a hut used by Captain Scott's expedition in Antarctica. Almost edible, yeah. And that was the box right there.
Yeah.
Like, here it is in the wrapping. Almost edible. Well, it's like it's flash frozen, but yeah, it's probably like too solid to eat. But maybe if you thaw it out, like you'll have a very small window of time before it starts molding to eat it. So that'd be interesting. We also have scientists study identifying nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide (NAD) deficiency as a major cause of miscarriages and multiple birth defects, published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Taylor Swift testified in Denver, Colorado court that a DJ named David Mueller groped her. Okay. I don't think, why would anyone want to touch a Satanist? So, U.S. President Donald Trump declared opioid addiction a national emergency. It absolutely is. It killed St. Fentanyl. 2018, Alaska Airlines ground crew member stole a plane from Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, flew for over an hour being chased by military jets before fatally crashing on Ketron Island.
Good grief.
Yeah, other source says Horizon Air employee Richard Russell hijacked and performed an unauthorized takeoff on a Horizon Air Bombardier Dash 8 Q400 plane at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington, flying it for more than an hour before crashing the plane and offing himself on Ketron Island in Puget Sound. 2018 as well, anti-government protests began in Bucharest, Romania, with over 400 people injured in clashes with police. So an anti-government rally turned into a riot when members of the Romanian Gendarmerie attacked the 100,000 people protesting in front of the Victoria Palace, leading to 452 recorded injuries. The authorities alleged that the crowd was infiltrated by hooligans who began attacking law enforcement agents. Yeah, of course they did. What a bullshit cover-your-ass story there. Doja Cat's self-related her novelty single Moo on YouTube, and it went on to become a viral internet meme. What is she, overrated as Lizzo or something?
I have no idea what that is.
Doja Cat is some musician or whatever.
Yeah.
I use that term.
She who she is, not
whatever
that.
the heck. Yeah, well, I don't even know what she... I just know the name. No. Evidence of 1 million Uyghurs being held in counter-extremism centers in China was presented to the UN Committee on Human Rights. And nothing was done about it because because China owns the UN. 2018 landmark case against weed killer Roundup. That's what I said. San Francisco court awarded groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson $289 million against Monsanto for causing him terminal cancer. And then all of a sudden, this stuff all over the place. Monsanto is killing people. They're poison. So, not to mention them lawsuing the hell out of the private farmers, like the remember the whole thing. If a Monsanto seed blows into your yard and it grows, they can sue you for theft. Yeah, an act of nature is theft. Shut up yours, Monsanto. In 2018, Omarosa Margaret Newman, a former aide to U.S. President Donald Trump, released taped recordings of her firing from the White House. Okay, did she cry? Are you going to cry about it, huh? Turkish lira fell dramatically after U.S. President Donald Trump announced tariff increase on Turkish steel and aluminum. 2019, 71 people died while trying to siphon gas from an overturned tanker that exploded in the Marago region in Tanzania. I remember covering this. Financier Jeffrey Epstein was found dead of an apparent self-deletion in his jail cell in New York while awaiting trial for sex trafficking charges.
Oh, that was today, huh?
Yeah, apparently. Well, hold on a second. Palm Beach Pete Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. It's he's now going around under a new moniker as Palm Beach Pete. There's all sorts of videos and everything. Like here's a video of somebody pulling up.
Is going.
So, but right there, that's Jeffrey Epstein right there. People have taken a lot of videos and everything. That this Pete character is posted online. Like he has his own TikTok or whatever. And they've compared, what his teeth look like, his cheekbones, everything. It's a 1-to-1 match across the board. Palm Beach Pete is Jeffrey Epstein. So not only did he not kill himself, he's not dead. 2019, monsoon flooding in southern and western India killed at least 150 people, with 40 dead in Kerala state and 100,000 in emergency relief camps. And one more thing about this whole Palm Beach Pete character. Apparently he was running for governor of Florida, and he was disqualified, and the state is demanding further investigation into his DNA. So there's something weird happening. If you don't want to believe me, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. Look into it yourself. And I'm not sitting here accusing Palm Beach Pete of being Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just saying there's more evidence than there isn't, of it. So whatever. 2019, we got the monsoon there. Rebel forces from the UAE-backed Southern Transitional Council took control of the key port of Aden in Yemen's civil war. Typhoon Lakimina made landfall in Jinsing province, China, killing at least 32 with 1 million evacuated. Earlier, it had caused flooding in the Philippines. Philip Manchus shot his stepsister and attacked a mosque in the Bahram Mosque shooting. Wow. 2020, global Kung Flu cases passed 20 million and were accelerating. The first 10 million took almost 6 months, while the second 10 million took just 43 days, according to Reuters. Fear-monger, propaganda, misinformation, fake news, lie. Trump's a science, I plead the fifth. And pretty funny that I bring that up, because we're gonna talk about Trump doing that here in a minute. Hong Kong tycoon Jimmy Lai was the most high-profile figure arrested in Hong Kong under its new security laws. 2020, rare windstorm, a derecho hit the U.S. Midwest, flattening cornfields, leaving hundreds of thousands without electricity, and even killing 2 people. So just a wind just go, like a derecho. 2021, I Am Legend screenwriter Akiva Goldsman tweeted, quote, "It's a movie, I made that up, it's not real," end quote, amid rumors that COVID-19 vaccines could turn people into zombies, as in the film.
What an odd thing to say.
Why would you even entertain that idea if it wasn't potentially true? Why reply to it at all? That's kind of weird. Forest fire killed 65 people, including 25 soldiers in Algeria's Kabylie region during heatwave conditions. Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, resigned amid a sexual harassment scandal. All right, bye. You American psycho-looking mother fricker. 2022, former U.S. President Donald Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment. Nobody invokes the Fifth Amendment like me. I'm the best invoker of the Fifth Amendment, I tell you that. Against self-incrimination repeatedly during a deposition into his organization's business by the New York Attorney's Office. I find that hilarious with what's going on right now involving Fauci. He pled the Fifth, 111 times?
Yeah.
Or something? So,
yeah.
2023, 24-hour approval granted to 2 rival robo-taxi services in San Francisco, Cruise of General Motors and Waymo of Google. Neither of them should be around. Russia launched its first lunar mission in 47 years, Luna 25, an uncrewed spacecraft to the moon's south pole from Bashkani Cosmodrome. 2023 as well, Virgin Galactic flew its first space tourist to the edge of space from Spaceport America in New Mexico. 2024, Israeli airstrike on a school and mosque sheltering displaced people in Gaza, an alleged Hamas command post, killing at least 93 people, including children. You know, here's the thing, all right? They want to sit there and claim, oh, there's tunnels. Maybe there are tunnels, maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm not saying whatever. They want to sit there, you know, they being Israel and everything, they want to sit there and saying, oh, Hamas is hiding behind children. Oh, Hamas is hiding in old people center. Oh, Hamas is hiding in schools. It's hiding in hospitals. Okay, well, if they are, if you bomb them, are you not giving the rest of the Palestinians every reason to take up arms against you? You're proving Hamas right. So if you really are against Hamas, if you don't want to self-feed this enemy to artificially generate your own reason for killing these people, then stop mass murdering them. Go in with precision strikes. Work with other countries. You know, like no, they don't want to do that. They're just blanket killing everybody, and they're just saying, oh, Hamas was in there, whatever, yada yada. Everybody's dead anyway. Move on. It's the writing's on the wall. They're not there to end Hamas. They're there to end Palestine. They caused Hamas because they got in there. Like terrorists don't wake up and decide to be terrorists. They have no other alternative. They're being pushed against the wall. They're getting no support from the international community. So what do you expect them to do? Just sit there and die? I mean, come on, justice. Like, I'm not for Hamas. Believe me, both sides are terrible. But right is wrong is wrong. And if people are not going to recognize the bullshit, then you have no right to say anything one way or the other. It's wrong what's going on. It's wrong to kill people no matter what. And especially with today's technology, there's no reason to just bomb a hospital because you think enemy combatants are in there. You know, there's other ways. That's been proven. No. Anyway, 2024 New Zealand canoeist Lisa Carrington claimed the women's sprint trifecta at the Paris Olympics with gold in the K1 500 meter following her K2 500 meter and K4 500 meter titles. Wow. And last but not least, Sean Dunn, at the age of 37, confronted Customs and Border Protection agents patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C., and threw a submarine sandwich at one of the officers. Video of the clash goes viral. False news, you know, that like he was acquitted. I looked this up, and like here's the actual thing, like right here. 2025 Sean Dunn sandwich was found not guilty. Takes victory lap. Sandwich guy speaks out, yada yada. Found not guilty. So they didn't add that he was found not guilty. This is accusatory. I think Sean Dunn may have a case for defamation against our primary source here, because they're not saying he was acquitted. You know, so anyway, that's
he wasn't acquitted on this day.
No, but they should say that he was later acquitted. They have said in other articles this guy was later found, not guilty or whatever. Like they have added that in. This is straight up accusatory. So anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can bring you a portion between two sources. We have gone through all 45 pages of this document in this hour and 38 minutes. Thank you so much for coming in and all that stuff. What's the code word to let us know that they're still watching up until this point?
I had one and now I forgot. Oh man. Yes. Bottle twist.
Oh, a screw cap.
Screw cap. Thank you.
Put screw cap in the comment section to let us know that you're still watching up until this time. Anyway, for your dose of Fast Events Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows. We have a new show every Saturday at 3, and we have I'm Okay, You're Okay, the first Sunday of every month. Every first Sunday of every month at 3 p.m. as well. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.